Hello, Internet. My name is Matt, and I just want to start off by saying that everything I say in this video and in this channel is not financial advice. It's just for your personal edification only. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is going to be a demonstration of the best method to get US dollars from a US bank account into an Anchor protocol savings account as of January 2022. So I did a similar video to this way back in November of 2021, but everything's changed since then. There's a new method now that's much easier and also lower fees. And it doesn't involve moving money through an asset that could change in value while you hold it. So that's all very cool, and this method is definitely better. Anchor protocol, in case you don't know, is essentially you can think of it as like a savings account that earns 19.5% interest, fluctuating ever so slightly. It's a little over 19.5% right now. Sometimes it's a little bit less, but as you can see the history here, pretty close to 19.5% interest basically all the time. Obviously 19.5% interest, super powerful. That's like really cool. Way better than a savings account at a bank is going to give you. Those are probably going to give you, 0.1%, maybe 0.3 or 0.4% or something like that if you're lucky. And that's not even keeping up with inflation. So Anchor is beating inflation by quite a lot, even, currently with high inflation in our country. This method I'm going to show is specifically for people in the US. It may not be the best method for people outside the US. It's probably not. I am not really familiar with like European laws or Asian laws or, all sorts of other countries and which platforms work well in those countries. So if you live somewhere else, then there very well may be a different method that's better for you to get money into Anchor. That said, using OKCoin, this one's very, very easy. So if OKCoin is available in your country, then this is a very easy way to do it, and very low fees as well. So it's a good one. All right, so we're going to get started here. Basically, Anchor doesn't take dollars, right? So it's not, you can't actually put US dollars into Anchor. You have to put UST right here, UST, which is a cryptocurrency that is pegged to the dollar. So 1 UST should equal 1 US dollar, or extremely close. Right now, if we go look at OKCoin's exchange rate, it's 1.002. So it's a fifth of a penny off from exactly $1, which, it'll fluctuate a tiny little bit, but it's basically going to equal $1 pretty much all the time. So we have to take our US dollars, though, and convert them into UST, and that's what OKCoin's for. Why OKCoin? It's because it's the best one. It's just straight up the best. It has the best features. It has the lowest fees. So a lot of people are more familiar with something like Coinbase or Crypto.com or Gemini or even Binance, the US version of that, Binance.us. But all of those fiat on-ramps, exchanges, whatever you want to call them, they're just not as good. Coinbase is got really bad customer service, has a tendency to lock people's money away and not release it for a while without really explaining why, and also has much higher fees and a much more complicated path to get money into Anchor with many more steps. Crypto.com is relatively straightforward to get money into Anchor, but the fees are much higher. And you can only use it on an app. I personally like working on a computer over my phone. Gemini is also very complicated, has a convoluted path to get money from your bank account to Anchor, and also very high fees there. Binance.us, the US version of Binance, is notorious as well for locking people's money and not releasing it either as transferring USD back to their bank accounts or letting them withdraw their crypto. They're notoriously bad about just locking people and putting them essentially in financial jail and not really explaining why and not giving any sort of timeline as to when the money will be released. And also just has like buggy issues. Binance.us is just not very good. So with that all said, OKCoin is really the choice. It's got less than half the fees of Coinbase, and it seems to be quite reliable. It's backed by, so OKCoin is the US kind of arm of a much larger exchange, I believe based in Korea, called OKEx. So they have financial backing from one of the largest exchanges worldwide. And they opened this version just to be US compliant, because the US has all sorts of, laws and whatnot that are more complicated than many other countries, for better or for worse. So what you're going to do to get started with this process is to open an OKCoin account. I already have an OKCoin account, obviously, and you need to go through their KYC. So it's U.S. law. They need to know something about you, know your customer, they call it, right? KYC verification. You need to get verified to level 2, which means uploading some sort of ID document like a driver's license or a passport. And then once you do that, then you can link your bank account to OKCoin, and you can ACH over money from your bank account, which is free. That's cool. The only problem with it is they do have like a holding period. So when you send an ACH from your bank account to OKCoin, they hold it for 10 days before you can withdraw the crypto out of OKCoin, which is kind of a long time, 10 days. Some of the other exchanges are a little bit faster, like Coinbase, I think, is like 5 days. But that's one minor drawback. Doesn't outweigh all the benefits of using OKCoin. And if you don't already have an OKCoin account, which I'm going to guess most people don't because it's a newer exchange and just like less cultural awareness than Coinbase or Crypto.com or these ones that are advertising a ton, then you can feel free to sign up using my referral link. If you do it, you get $50 worth of Bitcoin. I get $50 worth of Bitcoin, which is cool. Obviously, no pressure. You don't need to use my link if you don't want to. You don't need to use any link if you don't want to. But it's there. It's in the description of this video. If you want to use it, if you feel like this video has been helpful to you, feel free to use it. I won't be offended if you don't, so up to you. But I won't say no to $50 worth of Bitcoin, and I imagine you wouldn't say no to that either. It is locked, I think, for like 6 months. You can't do anything with that Bitcoin for a while, but hey, maybe the value of Bitcoin will go up a lot in that time, and that $50 will be even more by the time you can actually access it and withdraw it. So once you have your OKCoin account and you've passed verification and you've sent some dollars to OKCoin from your bank account, and they've passed that waiting period so that they're withdrawable, then you can go ahead and buy UST with them. So I have a little more than $20 in here right now that I just have randomly sitting here. So I'm going to go ahead and buy UST with that $20. You have to go into trade here, and then you can search for the USD pair. I have it as a favorite so that it's very easy for me to get to. So it's going to try and make you do a limit order. On UST, limit orders might actually not be super slow, but on many things they are really slow because it kind of waits for a price to hit before it completes your order. I prefer just to do market orders. It's not going to make that big of a difference. So I'm just going to do the max, so $20 and almost 39 cents, and I'm going to buy UST with it. And market orders, they just go whatever the current exchange rate is, so this 1.002, and it completes instantly. So now I have $20 and 20.3 UST. So I lost a tiny little bit in a transaction fee and this little bit of exchange rate, right? So that's pretty cool. Now I go to assets and withdraw. And I'm going to select my UST. Let's just search for it. UST. There we go. And I want to do an on-chain withdraw, and it's going to go to the Terra network. They should just be filled by default, so you don't need to change anything there. So I'm going to need a UST address, right? So this part we're going to need to hop over to terra.money in order to get this it's called the Terra Station wallet, which will give us our Terra address. So here on the terra.money website, we go to learn, which is kind of a weird place to put it, but see, there's the Terra Station wallet. I'm going to do the Chrome extension. I'm running like a fresh install of Chrome here. I don't use straight Chrome normally because I don't like Google knowing everything about me. I mean, they already know enough. So I normally use Brave or Vivaldi, one of the other Chrome-based browsers that doesn't track you. But for this video, I'm just doing this all with a fresh install. So I'm going to add this to Chrome, add the extension. And there we go. It's been added. And I'm going to go up here and pin it so that I have easy access to it. So there's my Terra Station wallet. Now I don't actually have a wallet address yet, so I need to create a new wallet address. So I'm going to do, just call this wallet for Anchor demo. So I have this wallet now. I'm going to put in a password, and you can't see the seed phrase, but because I blocked it out. But there's a seed phrase right here that's 12, or no, it's more than 12. It's 24, I think, words that are randomly generated words. So make sure you write down that seed phrase because it's the only way to get your wallet back if you ever need to. Like your computer crashes and you need to recover it on once you get a new computer or something like that. Or if you wanted to access this from your phone, for example, the only way to have the wallet show both on your computer and your phone is to import it using the seed phrase. So I say write it down and put it in two places. Paper is recommended, although you could, possibly use some sort of maybe encrypted online place that you could store it as well. But, this is susceptible. If a hacker gets this seed phrase, then they have your wallet and all the money in it. So you have to make sure this is very well protected from hackers or phishing type stuff or anyone who would want it. Basically, never give this seed phrase to anyone. It is only for your use. If anyone ever asks you for your seed phrase, that is a scammer, and they are trying to steal your money. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for a minute, write this down, complete this, and then I'll jump back in here in just a second. All right, and we're back. So I've completed the process to set up the Terra Station wallet. So written down my seed phrase, then it asks you to verify a couple of the words in your seed phrase just to make sure you know them, and then it's created now my wallet. So I have a wallet address here, which is a whole random string of characters and numbers. You don't ever need to memorize this or anything. You're just gonna be able to. There's this little copy right there. You're just gonna be able to copy it anytime you need it, because it's available. So it opened a whole new panel in here, but it's available anytime you want. Right up here now, so I can copy it there. My wallet has the two native tokens to the Terra ecosystem, which is Anchor is an app within the Terra ecosystem, the Terra blockchain. The two native tokens are Luna and UST. So I don't have either of those in my wallet yet, but I do have this, UST that I bought in OKCoin. So I'm going to go ahead and paste my address in here. When you're withdrawing to a Terra Station, you do not need to use a memo. When you're sending money to an exchange, so if you were going the other direction from Terra Station into OKCoin, then you would need a memo. Or if you're going for some reason from Coinbase to OKCoin, because you can send money between exchanges, then you would need a memo. And if you don't have the correct memo, then you just lose your crypto, and there's no rewind button, there's no undo, there's no way to get it back. So make sure that you always use a memo when it's required. I'm going to go ahead and give this the same name. Let's see if I can just copy it from here. And I'm going to do my max from my trading account, max. So it's going to do $20.30. It is going to charge me 80 cents. I think this is a fixed amount. And so if I were sending, 10,000 USD, it would still be the same amount, I believe. So, it seems like kind of a lot for sending $20, but as the amount you send goes up, the percentage you're losing here essentially goes down. So I'm going to end up getting $19.50 worth of UST. And I'm going to go ahead and continue. So it's going to make me enter some stuff, some passwords and stuff here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back once I've entered all that stuff. All right, so I completed that withdrawal, and now you can see here in my trading for UST, I have 0 available there. So all of it is out of OKCoin, and it took only about a minute for it to show up in my Terra Station wallet here. So you can see I have $19.50 have made it into Terra Station. And now I'm ready to go. Just hop over to Anchor. So I'm on app.anchorprotocol.com. If you just go to anchorprotocol.com, there'll be a button that says open the app. And then I'm specifically on the earn page, which is where you can earn the interest. So there's other things you can do with this. You can borrow, bond, whatever. Right now we're only interested in earning interest. That's to me, the most attractive feature of Anchor, especially for sort of a beginner level type thing. So I'm going to go ahead and connect my wallet. It's going to ask what kind of wallet. So we have a Terra Station wallet. We have to give it access, and there we go. Now it's connected. It shows up here, this $19.50, and we can just click deposit. So you can see here, so when I go to deposit, it says the max I can do is 18.97 because it's going to charge me another transaction fee to send the money into the Anchor account, right? So it's going to, reduce the amount that I'm allowed to send. But the problem is if I send that full max here, then I won't have any UST left to pay the transaction fee to get the UST back out whenever I decide to do that, in months or years from now, right? So I always recommend leaving, at least $5 because that'll get you 6, 7, 8, 9 transactions, something like that. So I'm going to just do, I'm going to make this simple for myself. I'm just going to do an even $10, and I'll leave, $8.97 after this transaction fee. And so it's going to charge me this 26 cents. Actually, I guess the transaction fee is lower for just sending, but it wants me to always have a little bit of money left. It won't even allow me to not have enough money left to withdraw it, I guess. But in general, just leave a few dollars in your wallet at all times. So I'll go ahead and proceed. It pulls up the wallet here, and I have to input my password to confirm. So I'm going to do that real quick. All right, so I just put my password in and clicked the post button, and then it sent my transaction off. And so the Terra ecosystem works pretty quickly. You can see that took about 15 seconds for it to complete. And now I have, I guess it lost 1/100th of a dollar on the way in for some reason, but I have basically $10 sitting in Anchor, and I'm expected to earn $1.96 on the year, which matches exactly that 19.56% APR. Now, obviously, doing this with $10 doesn't really make any sense, but I'm just doing this as a demo. I've created demo accounts and everything for this, so if you're going to follow along and you've decided to, not financial advice, of course, but if you've decided to put money in here, then you probably want to be doing this with more significant sums, at least a few $100s at a time, sending it over here and planning to keep it here for a while in order to justify the sort of hassle and the transaction fees going each direction. To get your money out of here, so let's say you put $10,000 in here, you let it sit for a year, and then you would decide you want to pull it out to purchase a car or something like that, then you would just complete the steps going the opposite direction. And I'll probably do a video at some point actually showing that, going the opposite direction from money in Anchor and then withdrawing it all the way back to OKCoin where you can send it to your bank account. And what's cool actually is, so Anchor is paying this 19.56% interest every 6.5 seconds or something like that, 6.7 seconds, something around there. It pays a tiny bit of interest. So you can say I've already gone from 9.999 UST up to a 10 even. And this number will just slowly grow over time. Obviously, with $10, it's not going to see it happen very fast. If you had a bigger number in here, you'd see cents adding up periodically. So that's the basics of getting your money from your US bank account into Anchor here. The one final thing to cover is now the money's in here, they give you essentially a receipt. And the receipt, I'm going to have to add it here. Let's see if I can just find it this way. Yeah, there we go. So add the token AUST. And if I go back here, so they've given me a receipt of 8.559 US AUST, which is, you can imagine this sort of as like your coat check ticket that gives you claim to the UST that you already deposited in here, right? So this 8.56 AUST currently represents 10 UST. And the way that they pay interest essentially is this amount of AUST will never grow, but the amount of UST that you can redeem by turning this AUST back in grows over time. So, whatever you do, don't send this AUST to anyone or get rid of it, because this represents your deposit in here. And without this AUST, you will not be able to get this money back. You have to have this AUST to do it. That said, there's not really any good reason to send this anywhere. There are, I guess, you can use it as collateral on some other apps and stuff, which is actually pretty cool. And I'll be doing a video showing that, like what you can do with that later. But for right now, if you just hold this in your wallet, you make sure you keep your wallet private keys safe. You never give anyone access to it. It'll just sit there. The amount of UST it represents will grow at 19.5% a year. And when you want to pull it out, there you go. You just click withdrawal. It'll automatically pull your AUST back to Anchor, give you UST back, and you can withdraw it back to OKCoin to your bank account. So hopefully this has been pretty clear, pretty easy to follow along. I know it's kind of a long video, so if you made it to the end, congratulations. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave comments below. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more videos, so feel free to subscribe if you're interested. Okay, thanks.